beyond the end. I love the Lord, He's my friend. Hello, everybody. Hello. I hope everybody's having an awesome day. It is the 23rd of June, 2021. It is 2:45 in the afternoon. I hope everybody's having an awesome day. My mic's going. I have an excellent connection. I love my wallpaper. That was on the Microsoft. I need to turn my monitor on. I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. Things are just beautiful here in Atlanta. And I just wanted to hop in and say hello and share some thoughts for today and make sure that everybody's doing well. Don't forget, everybody, now, no matter what, the reason that hello, if you're out there, it's just telling me my audio stream's low, and I don't know if it's because I'm not speaking loud enough or what. So anyway, we're just going to keep right on going. If I sweat just a little bit, my friends, I don't use air conditioning in my house, so I get a little warm in the lights. Anyway, get my standing light stand. Anyway, things are great here. I hope you all are having a good day. I just wanted to remind everybody that the reason I live stream is so that I can be here to tell you that I love you and that God loves you. And I love to pray, and so I kind of like hang out waiting for prayer requests. Okay, so that's why I'm doing this. And then I'm working on my art, and this is my house here in Atlanta in a little community called Sylvan Hills. Welcome if it's your first time. And I'm a little goofy, and I just love you, and I love the world, and I have a bunch of stuff in my brain that I want to give to you and my brothers and sisters, and to put it out there in the world, and hope that it makes the world a better place. And I love superheroes, and I love God, and I love you. And like I said, I'm a little sloppy, and I'm just talking into a mic. There's no script. There goes the bus, right? Isn't improv. It's just me pretending as though you're right there. You're on the other side, and I'm just want you to know I love you. And everything up top, be a neighbor. That's part of my mantra, right? And because of Mr. Rogers and PBS. And, you know, I do have a motive, right? And my motive is to tell you that God loves you, that I love you, and that I'm here to pray for you. Now, that's why I do this. Now, I have a bunch of other motives in my life. I want to finish my art, and I want to put as many people in homes as possible, and I want to just express what my eyeballs see in the world. And I always want to remind people, anybody out there who has any kind of, understanding of things, if you look at polls, if you look at the way things are structured in our country, the way the media gathers information from people that they don't know, like that they don't have dinner with in their house, and that, right? So I learned that there was a train of thought in like public relations and the way polls are constructed, that the last thing you want is somebody who wants to give you their opinion, because they're lying. Now, I never understood that. Like, I mean, if I'm honestly giving you my opinion, of course I'm trying to influence the results because there's something at stake. But, this, as long as it's legit, that has way more value to me than anything else. So just as a thought, a trusted source. Like we want the airport to scan citizens through the checkout line quickly that, grandma's not a terrorist, right? Well, I mean, so in that spirit, I love you, and that's why I'm here. And I'm unemployed. I got like $500 in the bank. I'm not getting paid by anybody. I'm just some dude in Georgia. So, and on that note, I want to start off with this. I'm not really going to fiddle with putting stuff up there because it's really kind of silly at this point. But I want to just put this out there to everybody, okay? Let me pull the mic a little closer so it maybe might sound a little better, okay? So all of this stuff that's going, and I can speak a little bit more succinctly. Okay, they want to put a rainbow flag on a stadium in Europe. And everybody's upset about it. Everybody's upset. There's nobody happy right now. Nobody. Now, I know people don't know how to handle this or handle an individual who is gay and a Christian and is proud of both, right? And as a bridge, as an ambassador of Christ, trying to be a peacemaker, right? A simple solution to bring peace to the situation would be, what if, the LGBTQ rights community came to to talk to the people. I don't know who would be in charge of that. So whoever's in the officials that are making the decision is about what color the lights are going to be. The two sides come together and let's have a message of peace. And the peace is this. Okay, let's just turn the lights white. And then we can tell our gay brothers and sisters that the rainbow comes from white light. Okay, and then we can look at that and say, hey, look, we are coming in peace to our brothers and sisters. Right? And there can be community. And then maybe the other side would be like, you know what, that's a great idea. And maybe they'll put the flag up there anyway. I'm just like, and if they don't put the flag up there and they turn the whites white, right? That's Christ and God and holiness and the whole 9 yards. Right? So that seems like a win. So just if anybody out there wanted to know what I thought about that, as though that there's some kind of, inconsistency with that, because there's not. See, even though I was asked to not come to church 3 times, I still love Christ. And that to me seems like the Holy Spirit. The white light could be the Holy Spirit. So you bring in Christians and Muslims and everybody from all over. Right? And let's come together. And the white light seems like, you could even do, instead of it all being one tone of white, you could do white in different shades, and that could be symbolic of the rainbow flag. I mean, there's a lot of ways we could come to an understanding on that issue. And I wanted to specifically say something, and I'm sorry I don't know the young man's name, but I did. The young football player that just recently came out, he looks so much like Superman, and I don't know the man, I've never met him, all I know is what I see on the TV, and he just seems like he's a super duper human being. And it shouldn't matter, I mean, look, for my brothers and sisters all over the planet about this gay thing, I understand, especially the older Christians that have an issue with lifestyle. I understand that. but God said love the sinner, right? So that's all that needs to be said about that. And I have a different, I'm like one rung up, maybe not in a better way, but just in a being gay myself. And if you've never believed about the choice thing, oh, it's a choice, I just want you to know that I never flipped a switch. I was so now I know a lot of people can go out there and say, "Oh, you didn't have a dad," and the list is extensive. But if there was supposed to be some switch that happened where it didn't. So, and that doesn't predict behavior. And one of the things I want to say about the behavior thing, being, like graduating high school in 1987 and coming out at that time, and, a lot of gay men and women of that era, they were options were limited about where you could go. Even in the 90s and the late 80s and the mid 80s, they were dragging homosexuals down the street. So, it wasn't exactly like it is today. And the homosexuals and the artists and the free thinkers that came before me, they got beat and dragged to jail. And, I'm not at all ashamed of loving men. Not one bit. I think the male form is the most beautiful thing on the planet. I'm going to say something shocking, and it's not. It's just the naked male form. Right? Not necessarily full frontal is beautiful. Right? But full frontal is beautiful too. I'm not ashamed to admit that. That's more beautiful than any piece of art I have ever seen in my life. But it doesn't mean that I want to pounce on it and have sex with it. But man is beautiful to me. So that's it. That's really why I love man. I just love us. And that means humans, right? I just happen to be. Anyway, I'm drifting now. Well, I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. Still, nobody's hit me up for prayer requests. So, just as a sum up, right? Let's put the white lights on the stadium, right? And then have a meeting and work that out. And then the gay football player. I'm sorry, I don't know your name. I could look it up, but I am juggling a couple of things, and I don't mean any disrespect from that. But he just seems like a super nice guy. And I really do hope God pours out all the blessings on you and your family and little angel wings on your back to keep you safe. And you look like you're a warrior and you'll have the spirit to heal. But please keep your brain safe. And know that there are people out there, no matter what you see in the chats or out there, just know that there are people out here rooting for you and praying for you. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, I ask these things. Please protect this young man, protect all the football players, protect all the young men and women out there that are following their dreams and playing sports and trying to be heroes. Keep them all safe. Let them help one another and lift up our nations in pride and peace. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, I ask this. Please bless his family and keep him safe. Amen. So, that's about it. I'm waiting for my friend to hop on here. There he is. Hey, look. Hey, I didn't want to put my jacket on too early because it's hot in here. So, but look. Look, I don't know if you can see it. I got my old dry cleaning sticker on it. It's Ken Cole. It's kind of wrinkled, but I need to take it to the dry cleaner. I have the suit. I have 3 suits. They're pretty nice. When I cut my hand off, I bought 3 decent suits. So what do you think? I'm not going to do anything until you respond. So I'm a big boy if you do. But it's not. It's shiny. I usually I have a red, really nice red sneakers I wear with this. Well, let me know what you think. You know what? I'm gonna slide over here and turn my monitor on, and I want to find that football player's name because I should really know his name. Yeah, the pants are it's a suit. So, and one is a 3-piece. It's blue, and then I have a really nice black one that has like really faint, brown stripes on it. It's really nice. And I have a bunch of other just jackets. And I like a herringbone jacket, and so I've got a pretty decent wardrobe that I don't throw anything away as far as clothes go. So, because I love clothes, I love going to the thrift store. But I think every man should have one nice suit. And if I remember correctly, they always said it should be gray because you can wear that suit anywhere, right? Like you can wear it to a funeral, you can wear it to a business trip. So don't go crazy. Like if you're gonna spend decent money on a suit, and you got to save the money for the tailor too. You know, I mean, I know it's a lot of money, but one nice suit and one decent pair of shoes. And, you know, sometimes you can find really good stuff at the thrift store and then take it to a tailor, and then, like, they can put a new lining in it. And I think all young men, like, if you're going to, like, be out in the world and you're going to present yourself in a really nice manner, you know, and you want to, I hate this, but play the game, right? You want to obey the rule set. You know, go find a really nice suit, get it 4 sizes too big so that when you take it to the tailor and they take out the stitching and stuff, they can cut. And then spend $100 at the tailor, $150 at the tailor. I know, but then you spend $5 at the thrift store. And you'll have a suit that nobody else has. So, and then that'll get you looking good so you can go out and find a really nice husband or wife. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I didn't wear it because because I don't wear it, and it was up in my closet, and it has mold on it. But I'll go get it for you because you wanted to see it. See, yeah, but you know, I realized that the other day when I was talking to you. You know, when you think about it, I guess a coat's like wear and tear. Most of it is on the inside, right? Because it's rubbing up against your body, where it's just in the air out there. You know, you really don't wear it when you're laying down or anything. So the lining, I guess, is really important to keep in a nice jacket. But here, let me get that belt. I'll be right back. It's right over here. Because I made sure I had it. Yeah, sorry for the... Yeah, so... That's mold, but... Yeah, see, it's all cracked down there at the bottom, and then there's the... It's like you can barely tell, but the buckle's got... It's been worn off, but it's really brass, and the 2 prongs. But I had this belt for a long time. Probably 20 years, maybe 15 years, something like that. I literally will wear my clothes off until they fall off my body. Pardon me, I'm wiping my hands here because I have mold on it. But my mom used to say, she was like, with my shoes, I'm like a real just a boy with my shoes. I'll literally like have 3 pair of shoes, and I will wear them until there's like I'll walk out of them, and then I'll know that like I have to buy a new pair. I just love shoes. Not like a fetish, but I mean I don't know. They're just I tend to. I know that it's weird to like put. Like I know they're non-real, like I mean they're real, but they don't have emotions, and it's like a Calvin and Hobbes sort of thing. It's like I love things in my, and I want to, I become attached to things. Yes, and alcohol too. I looked that up because I have some really nice shoes that got a little bit of mold on them, and they're leather, and it said you use rubbing alcohol, and that kills the mold, and then saddle soap, and then yeah. So, yeah. So, you having a good day? I hope. Oh yeah, I gotta turn my monitor on while you're typing. Hey, I'm gonna look. It's warm in my home, so I'm gonna take this jacket off. I just wore it so you could see it because it's. Since I'm just hanging out at my house, this is what. I put pants on instead of shorts. I was like, well, that'll at least go with the jacket, right? I'm looking up this football player. Did you hear about the football player? I'm sorry, I'm going. Oh, wrong window. What is his name? Shoot, I should know that, right? Do you meet it? And don't forget, Sandra, I'm gonna pray for you. Is there something you want me to pray for your parents or anything? I'm gonna look back. I'm like I said, it's just me here, and I'm trying to keep everything going smooth. What was I looking for? History. See, look, there's the rainbow flag. Just make it white. Just turn it white and say it's the rainbow, and then everybody will be happy. That just seems like have a meeting, get everybody together. Oh, well, I love competition, and I romanticize it a lot probably. I think about the Greek people, and the Olympic, what it really means, and and I love the Olympics. I'm from Florida, so the Winter Olympics I don't get, but the Summer Olympics, because I did that in high school. People were like, "What do you know? Homosexual this and homosexual that." Well, I ran cross country and track and field in high school, and I was in the Army, and so it's nice to watch human beings get joy out of pushing their bodies, So anyway, I can get fixated on a team, like I love baseball, and I'm really trying to learn about soccer because it seems like a great sport, like a lot of teamwork, and the fans are. It's a little bit more raucous than some of our football stadium. Anyway, I don't know. So I'm trying to learn about, different sports and, kind of keep the mind active. And, one of the things I put on Facebook, you're here to laugh at this. I was like, oh yeah, I could be the baseball commissioner. I was like, that'd be cool. And it's like, one thing that they could do to like help baseball, like if you wanted to like Star Trek it, is you could do it so that the baseball uniforms had little pins on them, right? So that you could define the strike zone on the player, and then when they walked up to the baseball diamond, like you could project with a hologram the strike zone. And then you could start the technology by doing it just so that the TV audience could see it, and then eventually, I think you could do it so that you'd actually see it on the field. And then right. And I designed a baseball stadium. It was so cool where the outfield was like there was a ramp that went over the outfield, like right over the. So instead of there being like a great wall, there was a 20-foot bridge, like an arch, that like kids could go out there with their gloves if maybe catch it. And it could be built up on a mound so that no matter what, if the kids, like went over the far rail, because, it would just be on the ground. It'd be ground level. So kids would be safe. And then you could put nets so there's no way anybody could fall over. And it would look, and it doesn't have to be, but it would look kind of cool, and I always thought it'd be a great thing for, if they retrofitted Turner Field like that, because you have downtown. It was such a beautiful vista. I really miss that ballpark. I will never, ever step foot in that. Oh, I love the Lord. He's my friend. I love him. I do. I got really, really upset this afternoon. And I am going to remain the Hulk fueled on love. And I think what the State Department did is really shitty. Sorry, but I do. It was in the New York Times. It's on Facebook. It's an article. I'm not going to go on and on about it, but that's bull. That's some bull. Somebody's got to fix that. Somebody, I'll come in peace. But come on. What are you Patience is a virtue. But look, there I am. Hello, 2 people watching. I love you and God loves you. Well, I'm sorry. What, the arch or the hologram of the strike zone? I'm not sure what that means in that sentence. Oh, I was looking for that. Here. I left my water. Sorry, I don't mean to cough. I got everything's open. I hope it doesn't sound too horrible. My front door is like wide open. The realignment, I love that. I'm so proud of them. It's just so nice to see people like doing stuff. And oh, look, here, can I share this with you? I thought this was pretty awesome. So here, I'm going to turn the mic down so I can hear it. Oh, the arch. Well, you know what? It's like I'm the Frank Lloyd Wright of architecture, right? You wait till if I could walk you through the house I designed, right? It's like when what was it? Johnson came to. He's like, we're coming to look at the plans, and he hadn't even started. I don't know if you know that story or not, but that's exactly like everything, the political plan, everything that's up here. Okay. It's literally like that. I could literally, but there's too much, right? Because then once I start it, then one thing, then the rest of it's gonna just I will disappear for a few months, right? And if that makes any sense, but anyway. So here, let me show this. First off, the young man, because I want to remember his name. Spider-Man met the Pope today or yesterday, whenever that was. That was awesome. The guy that was in the Spider-Man outfit, he did something like 2,400, thousands of phone calls and Zoom things to kids in the hospital, waving at them and talking to them and encouraging them. Now, see, that's Christ. Christ in a Spider-Man outfit. Sorry, I mean, that's what it is to me. That's how I see it. And I don't... This is my history. Hello, Anton. I love Anton. No, I've never met... I don't know any of these people outside of the hours and hours I've spent with them. Where did that go? I watched it. I know I did. There he is. Yeah, he's for the Raiders. Here, hold on. I want to... Do you mind watching this with me? Well, maybe we can send some drawings back and forth. I mean, you can hit my email and stuff, and I'll send you a couple. But, hey, listen, I want to watch this real quick just because I need to make sure I Mr. Nassib. Is it Nassib? I can't remember how they pronounced it. So I'm going to turn the mic down and just listen to this real quick. And I can't even remember. I'm not... well, hold on. Let me finish my train of thought with this, and then we'll go back to Spider-Man, okay? But, yay, he looks like Superman. Turn my mic down.
History in his sport, NFL player Carl Nassib took to Instagram for his coming out.
What's up, people? I'm Carl Nassib. I'm at my house here in Westchester, Pennsylvania. Just want to take a quick moment to say that I'm gay. I've been meaning to do this for a while now, but I finally feel comfortable enough to get it off my chest. I actually hope that one day videos like this and the whole coming out process are just not necessary. But until then, I'm going to do my best and do my part to cultivate a culture that's accepting, that's compassionate.
Entering his 6th season in the NFL, Nassib added that he plans to donate $100,000 to the Trevor Project, a nonprofit working to prevent suicide among LGBTQ youth. The Las Vegas Raiders defensive end has received support from his team and from NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell.
The NFL family is proud of Carl for courageously sharing his truth today. Representation matters. We share his hope that someday soon statements like his will no longer be newsworthy as we march towards full equality for the LGBTQ+ community.
Nassib is the first player on an active roster to come out as gay in the NFL. Several other players have done so, but only after leaving the league. Among them is Wade Davis. He was one of the first to congratulate Nassib. Coming during Pride Month, Nassib's coming out has also been praised by rights groups, with many saying his move may help increase the visibility of LGBTQ athletes.
There was another clip I watched on the list, but I won't make anybody else watch it, is he showed his family, and I don't know if that was his brother or his partner or who that was in, but it looked like a really nice family, and I'm sure his family looked like they just love him so much, and I'm rooting for him, and I'm sure you don't want some well. Hope I didn't cause you trouble. So, you said that you liked. Is there anything you wanted to talk about specifically, or you said you'd like the healthcare tax and the road idea? Do you want to talk about that some, or you just hanging out? Because if so, I'm going to switch this scene over and work on my art this afternoon. But if you'd rather just hang out and talk, we can do that too. I just wanted to say the white lights on the stadium and how Mr. Nassib, how awesome I think he is. Yeah, here, since you like Spider-Man, here, let's watch that that clip. That's pretty cool. Oh, that's my other one. Right, so I love the Pope. I think he is so awesome. I mean, like, I get the showing the support, but it's like one of the things that has always. Hold on, I'm looking for my mouse. Everything's turning blue. I've alt selected everything here. Let me get to my subscriptions, so because I don't know what shows up on my feed sometimes. There we go. I'm pretty confident about that just staying up on the screen. So yeah, those are all my subscriptions. Oh, you know what was cool? I hadn't really realized it, but like on YouTube, you can, like on your profile page, it tells you, like how many videos you've liked, and I hit 5,000 videos I liked yesterday, and now all the videos I've liked, I've watched, so I felt pretty full of myself. And Anton got the 5,000 like, and I put that on his comment section. And I thought that was kind of cool. It worked out that way because he was one of the first people I started following. Well, that's good to know because I don't ever watch my stuff. I just get here, I hit live, and then I don't ever go back and look at my stuff. I just, unless there's a comment, which nobody ever does. So I'm not complaining. I just... But I can change it. Thank you for letting me know, Sander. I mean, because that's, I can, because see, when I look at it, I have a big screen, and so it looks, I can see a lot of the detail. It probably doesn't, now that you mentioned it, probably doesn't come, because I don't watch most of my stuff on my phone. I watch everything on my monitor, my TV. See, I always scared about that World News Report thing because he's been wrong a few times, or she, or they, and I don't. Burn me twice, and I'm not saying it was their fault, like where they got their information from, but. Yeah, now that you mentioned, like now I'm contextualizing what it must look like on a little screen. I could pull it up, but it's like, yeah, a lot of the detail's going to disappear. So I can definitely make this more phone friendly. See, I want someone to tell me so I can improve. I'm not the guy that's, unless it's about maybe one or two topics that I feel really I'm grounded in, and I can push back on a counter argument. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I always want to know when I'm wrong because I don't want to. Hey, this is kind of cool. So here, this is this boxer. He is. I guess there's actually one team on the Olympics at the Olympics that they're refugees. And they can't be in their home country, and so they're playing on a refugee team. And this awesome human being, he's a boxer, and there's a couple other shows, but it's only like 3 minutes, so I'm gonna play it so I can grab my water and turn the mic down. Yeah, Sander, I'll be really honest with you. I know I'm not talking bad about myself, right? But there are things that are fundamentally wrong with my head. And I am more comfortable looking at it in that little screen, and I know it's absurd because you could just enlarge it on your side. I get it. And I'm not, it may seem like I'm comfortable doing this, but I know what I'm looking at. And so every time I do this, it comes with a huge dose of bravery. So I can fix that, but I'm not trying to talk around what you said. I understand. I can fix that, but the wasted screen space is never going to be my face. You know, while I'm sitting here in my house alone doing the song, right? No, because this is how I feel comfortable, right? And so, you know, I've heard a lot of really good advice on YouTube about like pivoting and, you know, but you have to go to your deadline, you know, unless people are. I don't think so. No, I understand what you're saying. I completely understand your point. And you're right. It is in a way wasted. But the way when I look at it, it's like, to me, I'm trying to design like art. You know, and this is supposed to be like a mouth, right? And I'm talking it out of. So here, look, I'm going to put this video on about this. It's a really awesome little 3-minute video. It's so I can get water because I left it, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here, let me just put this on. I've already watched it. Oh, I'm going to turn the mic down. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, so just don't go anywhere. Just give me like at most the end of the video. Going right around the corner. My bathroom's right over there, and anyway.
I'm 22 years old. I want to be an Olympic champion.
Hallo, ich bin Wissam. Ich komme aus Syrien, ich bin Flüchtling und nächsten Monat war ich in Tokio und ich bin Boxer, dann sehen wir uns in Tokio. Der 2011 kommt der Aufstand bei uns in Syrien, dann war ein bisschen, am Anfang war so alles in Ordnung, nach einem Jahr war alles sehr schlimm, Krieg, viele Bomben, kann man dort nicht leben. Deswegen habe ich eine Entscheidung getroffen, dass meine Frau und ich und mein Kind von Syrien aus müssen wir echt flüchten. Ich habe schon für nur ein Land geboxt, für mein Syrien, mein Heimatland, aber momentan boxe ich für die ganze Welt. Es überall, das ganze Welt, es gibt Flüchtlinge, deswegen ich boxe für alle Flüchtlinge in der ganzen Welt. Das heißt, ich boxe für viele Länder, nicht nur für ein Land.
I was the first athlete, first woman in Taekwondo. I got a bronze medal in World Championships and bronze medal in Olympic Games. And I said with myself, so I can do different thing that nobody can do this. And I think it was my motivation.
Well, I hope you liked that. I thought that was a really cool story. I gotta deselect that. Maybe if I click on- There we go. What map? Oh, you mean in the first sphere? That's my art. That's my board. I have on the settings down there. See, like if you, like when you click, or you can't see what I'm doing, but there's a way that you click on the source, and on the third tab it says filters, and you can add filters to the lens on the software program I have. So yeah, that's live. Here, look, I'm just gonna step over there and I'll put my finger and see, that's my hand. Hello. Woo. So I have that on a tripod and I can move it. So one of the things I like to do is get light textures on it, and it's a secret, and I'm not going to say what it is, but I probably have 20 more hours worth of work to do on that at the most, but it's so simple, the last application I do on it, and I think that it will be pretty great. People want maybe put it in a museum somewhere, and it will it'll be really interesting. So, but that's just me being David Cody Peppers, thinking that his art's worth anything. Isn't that funny? Well, thank you. I love it. It's like, folk graffiti, and it's if you go like I'm not on my Google timeline. I've always done whiteboard drawing in the morning, and I've always taken pictures of them. So there's quite a few, and there's some good math in there. There's some, anybody who wants to look at it, it's right there, but thank you so much for saying that looks cool, Sandra. That really means a lot to me. And, there's a lot of pointillism I have to do to it still, which is, and when I was a little boy, not young man, like 10 to 14, my mom, when I would want to doodle, she sat me down and she said, well, can you just draw a straight line over and over and over and over and over again, or try to draw a circle over and over and over and over again. And she wasn't forcing me by I draw 100 circles. That was never. But when she'd catch me when I was drawing, she's like, can you draw 3 circles? And then. Well, I hope you'll be pleased with my outcome, and there's only one human being on the planet other than me who knows the secret. I ain't telling you who it is, but I love it. And I was thinking about this. One of the things I wanted to talk about today is. Because I'm going through it, right, is what loss does to people. And I think that's one of the things that is, because I'm not looking at anything, I don't need my glasses on. And so everything is so blurry. Oh my God. These are just reading glasses I got from Target. They were like $10. Last good pair of glasses I had are broke. Like if you see me in the video, I don't know if you ever watched it, that little piece of tape on my glass is a Band-Aid. Just to keep the. See, and I can't see if you're saying anything. So, just bear with me for a moment when I talk about loss. Is that out of all the emotions that I have felt in my life, and I have felt a torrent of emotions. Loss is the one emotion that doesn't subside upon next application. And what I mean is that, like, the first time you lose someone, a parent, a friend, and that you get, for me, and you get that first feeling of loss, the next time you lose someone or something, a friendship, a pet, right? For me, it builds upon the emotion of the previous loss, and so that it amps it up, and then it amps it up, and then it amps it up. It's a response, and I don't know if it's a normal response, right? But it's my response. And so when I lose a pet, or I lose a friendship, or it hurts me a lot. And I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me. Because I don't know if other people go through the kind of loss I have. I'm sure that there are many, many hundreds of billions, millions, trillions of people throughout history that have gone through far worse than me. My white privilege. But, and I'm grateful, right? And I love the Lord, and I don't feel sorry for myself in the least bit. But I have to acknowledge a physical, emotional response to things that happen to me as a human being, because I'm not an android, right? And, so that's why I always tell people, like, call your parents, be a neighbor, put down roots. Because it's horrifying to wake up, and not know anybody around you, not have anyone to call, it's tough. And don't let that happen to you. And there was a great movie with Jack Nicholson. I think he was real cloistered with his wife, and he made a lot of friendships at the end of his life. And, after he passed away, all the friendships that he had were there for his wife. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I've been in a situation before where I've had to put animals to sleep because I didn't have $4,000. I hear you, libertarians out there. It's my own fucking fault. I hear you. And you are right. Next. And it really does suck. So, I don't know how a farmer does it. Man, a rancher I know some ranchers really love their animals. I know most of them do. And it's rough, man. I have so much respect for butchers, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't be a vet. I couldn't do that. And maybe that's just me, weak coward. I'm sure if their life depended on it and I had to stick a pin in their throat so they could breathe, I would. But what a noble profession to take care of our pets. And I'm in no way like criticizing the vets. I'm not criticizing the vets. But it happened. I read somewhere that veterinarians have a really high suicide rate per capita. That's the way the article. I was years ago, so I don't know. It's changed, but it just must be really heartbreaking. No. it always has to be. Life always has to be better. I mean, why not? The sun is still magnificent, still beautiful. I'm going to record. I don't know if this makes any sense to you or not, but one of the things that, like, the live stream versus like sitting in a mic and recording something and uploading it, I am not criticizing. I'm just talking, right? For whatever reason, when it's live, whether you want to consider it improv, because to me improv is like, I'm not exactly sure what the dynamic of, like, are you just, it's hard to do it alone, right? So, shoot, where was I going to go with? Oh, so the live stream, right? So, it just, for me, it's just real and honest. There's no script. It's just reading glasses from Target. I just sit here in my living room, right? And I want to put my best foot forward, because if anybody who's in time in the future, it's like I've made a record of me trying. And maybe that's all this is. Maybe that's all. But I'm having a blast, man. I couldn't be happier. I'm getting ready to get evicted. My cat's sick. Right? I mean, if you've paid attention to anything that's gone on in the last few weeks in my life, on top of everything, right? I'm not complaining. I don't want anyone to feel sorry for me. But if you want this calmness in your life, I suggest you get Jesus in your heart, pray, meditate, follow the advice, and you will be happy. Peel away the crap in your life that you don't need. Get a hobby. Find someone to love. Have a glass of wine. I haven't had a drink in a couple months. Whenever the last time it was, I said that I haven't had one since. And anybody out there who drinks, I want to say one thing to you. I don't know if I'm an alcoholic or not, but I'll say this to you right now. All of the mistakes of my life, I've done drunk. And so at a certain point, you will make an adult decision that you don't want to mess your life up anymore, and you'll put the booze down for a bit. So it's that line in Cat in a Hot Tin Roof, I don't trust a man that doesn't like a drink. Well, I hear you. I love drink, but you know what? It's just, there's seasons. And believe it or not, I'm praying to give up the weed now, because that's the flower, because I don't need that. If I'm going to do this, I don't know, dude, if it is true and there's half a bunch of Native American blood pumping through me, right? Dude, and it's double for my Native American brothers and sisters. I mean, it was on purpose, man. That was distilled poison, because I know what it does to me, and I'm just a half breed in the room, and shoot. But man, I'll tell you what, it's just so much better. Hello, mama girl. It's just so. You want to come up here and say hello to everybody? Oh, it's okay. Mama girl's right here. She's one of my kitty cats. Come here, baby. She's looking at the dog toy I had. I put it in the litter. Come here, baby. It's okay. Come here. Come say hello. Oh, she is a huntress. I don't know if I sing these stupid little songs, not stupid, and so all the cats have their own songs, and her song is it goes to the, you're way too young to know Barry Manilow probably well, but it's the Copacabana song, and it's like, it goes, oh mama, she is so skittish. Come here, babe. Come here. You're gonna have to come here. Here, do you want to see it? Look, here, watch. This is the toy. Come here. Do you want to see? You're gonna have to come over here to see it. You gonna come see it? Come on. Ooh, she's sniffing. Here, look. Hold on. I'll turn the camera around here so you can see her. Oh, there's the mic. There she is, right there on the couch. Hey, Mama. She is looking right at it. Well, don't. If you don't don't drink alcohol. If you haven't and you haven't it hasn't bit you yet, don't. I mean, no, I'm not trying to ruin any industry or anything like that. But if you haven't had a desire, then don't. Don't. There's why. Why bother? If you're happy without ever having, no. Anyway. Are you going to come get it, Mom Girl? So here, the song, it goes like this. Her name is Mama. She is a huntress. She likes to drink blood and bring you fleshy treats. Her name is Mama. She is a huntress. So anyway, I just make up little songs for my cats, as silly as that is. So, are you going to come say hello? Okay, I'm going to put it over here then. There it goes. She is not letting that go with her eyes. Yeah, I just, I wish I could just have a drink, but that's not David. That is not me. It's all or nothing. That is Sagittarius David. You ever want to believe in astrology or whatever that, I'm not asked. I have found a lot of humor in similarities in that sign in myself, and that is who I am. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the Olympics, and oh yeah. So since we're on the gay thing, right? And who me be, and one of the things that's really important that when I stress family, it's not meant to be antagonistic to the gay community. It's not meant to be antagonistic to feminists. It's not meant in any of that, because you can have a family without ever having children. You can have a family without ever getting married, right? However, if our species, like the vertebrate, our brain and our spinal cord, the space monkey that we are, if that's going to survive, we have to have children. Now, I come in peace. It'll be interesting how many kids got produced in this shutdown, though. Well, that'll be an interesting little... I'm interested to find that out. Year and a half, the numbers should be in officially. That'll be a very interesting byproduct of a year at home, won't it? Mama. Come here, baby. Come say hello. So I am gonna upload one video. Well, I'm in a bunch, but eventually, I have a really good recipe for sweet tea my mom taught me, and I don't know I think it's better for you than stuff comes out of a bottle, and it's really good. And I worked in restaurants for 20 years. I can make really good sweet tea. And I think it's probably cheaper, but part of the video that I'm going to do is we'll do math with it. So I'll get my receipt from Walmart, and it shows the, how much it costs, and then how many tea bags are in the box, and the sugar, and then the energy cost, and then break it down by serving, and then do a little, math problem with that, and then because then kids can do the math, right? Because it'll be like box, and then we can do a variable, and it'll be like a little math problem. So, and it's super easy. Boil a half gallon of water, add 4 tea bags, let it steep 15 minutes. Boil water, add tea bags, 15 minutes. Take tea bags out, add a cup of sugar. Let it sit 15 minutes, stir, add a gallon of cool water to a gallon. It's a simple recipe. I use Louisiana tea, which I have the receipts for and have had the receipts for the last 25, 35 years of my life. And, just regular sugar, and it's really good. But you can't, it's like you have to do it in, you have to follow the recipe. Can't put the sugar in there with the water. No, it has to do it that way. Steep it, and it's really good. So, we had sweet tea in our family though for forever. I guess it's just the South, right? Mom, girl. Hey, baby. Oh, she started talking the last month or so. She used to always be super, super quiet. Gravity is not our friend. Baby. So when I get my painting, it's really good. So if you like, and if you like tea, we drink a lot of sweet tea down here. Just keep it in the refrigerator. And if you can try to keep ahead, the best way to make tea is to stay ahead, right? So, like make it before you go to bed and put it in the fridge so that you can drink cold tea from the day before. And it keeps for 3 or 4 or 5, 6 days if the refrigerator's nice and cold, but it should never last that long. And then you can always just cut the recipe in half if you don't drink it, but it's really good. Mama girl. So well, you're really sweet to say you should go in a museum. I don't know how I'm going to sell it. I mean, because that's kind of like my Hail Mary, I mean, I don't know if I put it on eBay. I wouldn't know how to. Maybe I've been trying to reach out to a friend of mine, and she hasn't kind of responded. She's kind of big in the art. Well, I mean, she knows art. I wouldn't know how to go about doing that, but that's still next week. So I said the 28th, right? At least that was what I thought I put on the paper after I updated it. So I need to kind of get busy on that. But one of the things that the governor, thank you so much, Governor, for cutting off the unemployment. You're really awesome. And I'm being really sarcastic right now, Governor. I think you screwed a section of Georgia voters that probably, because now that is something I wanted to add to, because you were talking about unemployment last week. Now, as somebody who loves politics, right, I have to ask a question, right? I'm allowed to ask questions. Okay. So, the governor would be able to look at a list of people who are on unemployment. I could be wrong, right? Now remember, brothers and sisters, there's no letters after my name, just me, right? I do my research, math, I'm drawing, right? I'm bringing you beverages on a tray for 20 years. Okay, but I would imagine that it is not illegal for the governor to get a list of everybody who's on them. Not just this governor, all governors, right? So Governor Kemp, I'm not singling you out. I'm not. I'm just I'm talking out loud. And I'm letting you know that a waiter of 20 years paid his taxes in Georgia, right? Just law-abiding, God-loving, is right, just some dude. Right? If if David Cody Peppers, right, you give me a position, right, I would say, okay, well, bring me a list. Bring me a list. And you'd have all the people who had employment. Now, you also have access to all the voting rolls, right? So clearly, now I'm not saying, right, we're talking about just at like, because you know what? If somebody said, David, that is not possible, and the governor came out and said, I did not do that. I'm not asking, I'm not trying to force any, I'm just, please, I come in peace, but my brain hurts so bad sometimes. Because now, if every decision was politically based as a politician, right? So if like Sansa, Queen of the North, I learn slow, but I learn, right? And you always think, what's the worst reason why somebody does something, right? You want to hold all of that I love the Lord, He's my friend. I love Him, I do. Now, I come in peace, I'm not right? And so, if I knew that everybody that was on unemployment were all of a different political persuasion, and I had a bunch of billionaires in my ear, get them back to work. And I thought I was stupid enough to think I was going to be president one day. You couldn't even keep. Now, here, it is NPR. This is not a conspiracy. However, when our illustrious governor was Secretary of State, somehow the place where all of the hard drives were kept that had all of the state's voting records on them, or a large portion, I could be wrong, but I know that happened. It was in the AJC. I think the ACLU was involved in the lawsuit, and then the hard drives were like, oh, they're all blank or corrupted. Yeah. Now, if he couldn't keep that safe, and it was a contract, so it wasn't right, so. I got kicked out of the military because I left a letter acknowledging my homosexuality on my desk at work. You know what? You screwed that up and you became governor. I don't know how that happened. But back to my point, is that if I were and there's no repercussion, all those dirty poor people, back to work. Ha 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 ha! Yeah, you're not a villain. That's fine. Well, you know what, Governor? I hope you keep that list really close to your heart, because you know what? You better make sure that none of those servers are waiting on you in the near future. Right? Imagine. I'd always thought about that in a comic book. I always thought about that would be, now, I'm Sassy David alert. If anybody needs to hit pause or Sassy David alert. But right, imagine if servers felt any kind of allegiance. All the little microphones that would be running around or have been running around for, who knows, allegedly. Sassy David. Somebody could put that in a comic book, right? Imagine a story where every server in the nation was mic'd. What? That would be a great story. You want to see a real life TV show? I love the Lord, He's my friend. I love Him, I do. and I love you, and I come in peace. Won't you be my neighbor? Some uneducated hick, Florida trash, has the audacity to plug in a mic and say shit out loud. I'm feeling a little feisty. It's warm in Georgia, and I love the world. And you know what? I couldn't be happier. And I'm on the preface. Life is about ready to hit the shit fan, and I don't care. Because you know what? I believe in God, and I know He's going to take care of me, and I just couldn't be happier. And so if you want this when you're in chaos, just say, God, please let Jesus into my heart. Say, Jesus, come into my heart. And there's a spirit of the universe that will come in you, and He will keep you safe and make you feel good. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, ask us, amen. If you want that, it's so simple. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to talk to you, give you advice, and paint pictures, and try to keep my stuff out of the rain. Sorry, this is real life. And this is what I'm dealing with. And this is America. And the governor even though we were supposed to have the benefits until September. And here's what I'm really interested to know. Really, Governor, did you cut off all the insurance? Not just the extra, right? Because there's many Georgians that are on unemployment that have already burned through their state unemployment. And so, Governor, I wonder how that story's going to go down. Because I will not let it go quietly. There is a possibility that the governor has kicked how many hundreds of thousands of people in Georgia off all unemployment insurance. Anyone that goes back to work and puts down less than $20 an hour on their application is a moron. You didn't want to raise the minimum wage, we'll raise it ourselves. It's called supply and demand. I'm in no sense saying kill the economy or nothing like that, brothers and sisters. I'm just saying if they want us to go back to work, on that little box on the application, you can put whatever amount you want in that box. They can say no, and you can walk out the door. It's America. And if enough of us band together, we'll all have a soup kitchen. Just because. So there's a great little story. Anybody who knows me, and I can't because a lot of this is peeling the onion away, and I know every little detail about my life that I've done. And one of the things I love to do on Facebook and on YouTube is do my little trap black clover video. It's everything. Just imagine me with my stupid, dumb IQ. Imagine if I thought at the age of 12 I was going to do something. And everything I did was on purpose. So go ahead, I'm ready, pull out the videos. The video of me running across Turner Field after the game and getting drug across on my face. Yeah, that video's out there. But see, you can't, right? I was respectful. I was after the game, right? So that video's out there. I know it is. There's also the video of when I was arrested in a roadblock. Oh, I'm waiting for that to come up on somebody's feed. And that come out like you think, but see, they can't give you that video because the way the video ends will only prove Well, of course, right? And the idea is it's solidarity. And I wouldn't want anyone to go hungry, right? And I wouldn't want any business to fail. However, it is unrealistic for, I mean, honestly, now, Mr. Business Owner out there, hello? 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 Hi. Hello, Mr. Business Owner? Okay, listen. Let's pretend like we're having a conversation here. Okay? Now, I come into your business and my rent, utilities, right now, there is a cost of doing business with me. Just like there's a cost of doing business with you. Now, why in the real world, if it costs me to keep a roof over my head, now anyone out there who's rolling their eyes and saying that's not my concern as a business owner, you are a villain, you are a vicious monster, and you should be put out of business. My front door is open. I am not scared I'm not looking for trouble. But I'm also not ever going to ask you for a job. Ever. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. So you explain to me, somebody, one of you rich, one of you, like when I look at the TV and I see all of these doctorate people who are of the age of over 65, 70, call them what you will, but you do have an age that I can say, well, you were, right? And all of you are the same age, all of you, and you all went to the same schools, and you're all in, like, all you little villains. Brother, we have eyes. No. So you explain to me how it costs me X amount of money to live, and I'm supposed to work for less than that. It's a democracy. And you know what? It dawned on me today, and here's the point. And I'm not a socialist, I'm not a communist, I'm a capitalist. But I am an American. And this is a democracy. And brother, I may not be able to fix my teeth, but Jeff Bezos can. He's got plenty of money. I bet you could take, as if I haven't done the math, I bet you could take just the money he made this year or last year for the pandemic, just the money he made in profit. Jeff, not Amazon, the one human being. And you're going to tell me there's more value in him keeping that money and it not being taxed and fixing everybody's teeth in America? Fuck you. Sorry. If you think, really? Sorry, Sander. I God forgive me. I'm trying, but you're really people. That's what you're saying. You're saying sorry. You have to have rotten teeth because you're poor. Okay. Look. I don't know them, but see, the thing is that they're either controlling the media or they're not. And if they're not, they're stupid. I mean, really, you would have that much, which is why you can't keep. You own the Washington Post. Are you kidding me? So let me realign, and you should always watch that podcast. They rock. Let me realign let me tell you where it's going to break down. So all the anti-abortion people, now the anti-abortion people are not the pro-life people. We are going to cleave that in half, right? Because the anti-abortion people, not the pro-life people, see, we put them in the same group, but they're not the same people. The anti-abortion people are the ones, Well, so hang on, Sander. I'm not going to look at the chat thing because this is really important for me to say, and I'll respond to your chat in just a minute because there's so much delay when I get it and what I've said, and so I have to kind of backtrack. So hang on one second, brother. And this is, I think, an important distinction that might help people out out there. Okay, because when we talk about abortion, all right, I'm a Christian, I'm a homosexual, I've never paid for one, I've never had sex with a woman. I would never tell a woman in America, land of the free, home of the brave, that she can't have a medical procedure. However, I would like to point out that the insurance company tells other Americans quite frequently that they can't have medical procedures. Allegedly. Okay, so there's such a thing as pro-life. I believe the sanctity of human life. Okay, and I don't want it flushed down the drain from the time it's exiting the uterus, in school, in prison. I don't want it flushed down the drain. We have the future coming where you'll be able to take the material that comes out of your uterus upon that medical procedure and, I mean, trash can or, I mean, that's profound when you think about the repercussions of that. And so sanctity of life is that if you believe that the human being is important in the conversation and you don't want to drop bombs on babies in other countries, right? And you want good education, right? That's pro-life. And I'm proud to say I'm pro-life. Okay, I want to cleave off the anti-abortion people who want women chained and subservient until they're not. You know what I mean? Those people can go with the GOP neo-fascist neoliberals, because they're the same people. So that's how you do it. And so the pro-life people are all Catholic. Okay? I'm not Catholic, but I think Catholics are great. I love the Pope. And Catholics would love my message. Because my message is, wait for it, the message of Jesus. Isn't that great? Okay? This is a Christian country. I've been told that for 50 years, so you reap what you sow. Here it comes. Somebody who is a true follower of Christ and understands what fascism is. And fascism is when you don't want every American voting. And therefore you, with the anti-abortion fascists, will be against me and my friends. That's how it's going to break down. Poor working minorities, pro-life, union. That's 250 million of us. And most of them have never voted. You better wake up. Fight a message where screw 10 million jobs. How about 10 million homes? Beat that. You can't. You can't. You can't beat the tax. You can't beat the healthcare tax. You can't beat it. You can't beat that. The education, why are schools not open 7 days a week? You can't beat that. Equal under the law, really go through the public defender the first time through. That's what you get. And then you can appeal with a private attorney. There you go. How about that? Every American, whether they're in jail or not, gets to vote. Okay, beat that. That is what is coming in a year and a half. I don't care if I have to get naked and walk down the highway. I love you too much. I love you so much. Till my last breath, I'm going to fight these people. Because I got nothing to lose. Nothing. Nothing. I have no wife. You're not going to bully her at the supermarket. You're not going to bully my kids because I got none. 3 cats and $400 in the bank. You can take that if you want. And then maybe I'll put a bullseye right here. That's your own, that's what, I love you. And I'm not looking for trouble. But like Margaret Thatcher said in The Crown, if you don't have enemies, you are doing it wrong. Right? That's the kind of gist. So that's the poor redneck version of it anyway. And so, the point is, it's so simple. If any of this makes any sense to you, all you have to do is get 5 people. 5 people. And ask them if they agree with these videos that are on my YouTube page. You can reshoot them and you can do that. You say those words. You get, ask what school open 7 days a week. Look at the look at the plan. It's right there. It's all right. 5-6 years now, just waiting. I'm sorry if I'm coming across as mad, and I'm struggling like a drowning person to convince you to help yourselves. You know, it's like it's that spirit of Christ saying, "Turn the cheek," right? And so I'm gonna keep turning my cheek. And I'm gonna keep hitting play, and I'm gonna say, you know what, this is kind of stupid on the news, and hopefully somebody, look, I can't, Sandra, I would be lying to you if I say that that I am risking everything, and it's not much. But what you see behind me, literally in a bed, is literally what I got. I got a lawnmower and, some pots and pans. And I'm not asking anybody to come rescue me. I'm asking for somebody to find some value in my art, maybe buy a piece or two at the end of all this, and it might be enough to put a roof over my head, a little shed somewhere. And then if anybody wants to keep watching and or hire me or give me a project and let me sleep in the parking lot and put some people around me, I don't want to rule the world. I don't want the world ruling you either. And that's what I'm trying to do. This is stupid that this is going on. Amazon is throwing away $133,000 a week in product in England alone. And the product that they're throwing away is not all food, right? It's not spoiled. We're talking about TVs and vacuums and like that there aren't poor folk that could, we could do it so you get a tax write-off for that. But see, they can't give it away because then other people won't buy it, right? I don't know what you mean by that, Sandra. I don't want... See, the thing... Okay, look. And this is... Okay, look. Let me just pause this real quick here with... Okay. I think people on YouTube are missing the point. Okay? And the point is you have a channel. And your channel has 24 hours a day. And what you're watching now is a show on a channel called David Peppers. It's not a network, it's a channel. It doesn't become a network until you can fill up 24 hours a day. Now that's old school broadcasting. I don't know if that... Just no degree, just observation, right? So, to answer your question, Sandra, is that the chat, the comments under the video are supposed to not be for self-promotion. And when I go on there, right, the only thing I can hope for is when I leave a good word is that somebody just might occasionally click on my icon and be like, oh, look at that. And then get to know me before they start hurling insults. And so going into other YouTubes and being like, hey, go check this guy out that's not appropriate for the algorithm. It's not appropriate for... Now, if somebody wants to hit me up with an email and be like, dude, you got it all wrong. Because see, you know what? That's... If YouTube were to ever hear a plea from a streamer, is that I would love a handbook. Could you just give me a handbook? I'll sign it. But you got us all out here and we don't know what we can do and can't do. And my prayer is that you're not doing that so you can censor at will. I'm really believing that's not why you're doing it. But however, you will have to at some point, if you want this to take off, is come up with some kind of standard rule book that is easily accessible, that I don't have to follow a rabbit hole down and like stand outside YouTube with a sign. I mean, I'm just, I can submit to authority and it not be a problem. And I get so much out of having this ability, this privilege to sit here and do this. And so if, like, I'm just talking out loud, right? If the handbook says you can't talk about Israel, you can't do this, and this. You can't show, you have to wear a collar. I then have a choice to make. And I would respect YouTube and its policies. I want to respect the rules. I'm just that kind of boy, kind of young man. I just don't, just give me framework. And so the problem with handbooks, right, and this is like when we talk about corporate, so you want to talk about corporate culture, right? If on my work time, when I'm in the building, you don't want me on Facebook talking about my workplace, you should write, that's in the handbook. But the minute you hire somebody to look at what I'm saying when I'm not at work, why are you working for that company? I mean, that doesn't make, because you know what? The problem is that what you're doing with that is you're tamping down on employees saying out loud to all the other employees and all the other companies how crappy they're all being treated. If the point is to squeeze us, then you're the villain. I mean, like, read the dictionary, look up the word villain, look in the comic books. Villains keep people from growth. Villains keep people from wellness. They keep people from having to call somebody sir. Allegedly, tell me I'm wrong. I don't think I am. To whoever's out there in the world, I don't think my opinion is incorrect. I don't think my logic is incorrect. I agree with you. And, it would be much better for YouTube and Facebook and all these social media platforms to define the rules ahead of time on their own, right? You would think, here, okay, and then tweak it. Show you're coming in peace and that freedom of speech, and show the world how proud America, right? I mean, don't just have us flapping it. It's so not fair. And I'm nobody. God forbid if I was depending on income and like if I screwed up, like 10 people didn't get paid. I mean, that's not fair. And there's no number. You're making billion. I'm not, please don't cut me off YouTube. I'm not trying to. It just some dude in Georgia. I think adults can, but you're missing a lot of expression. You're missing a lot of truth, and you're missing a lot of realness by us out there having to. And maybe that's what I don't like. If I have to hold two things, self-evident. Just a thought. I'm not trying to control anything, I don't want to be an influencer on purpose. The only way I want to ever be an influencer is me and my random non-script, nothing, right? Just me talking here, my front door open. If that is a representation, if other people have the same feelings. Anyway, I kind of lost my train of thought there. I'm sorry. I haven't eaten in a while. I'm kind of hungry, but not really. I love fasting. I don't think you should ever go without eating long periods of time. Always consult your physician. Don't ever do anything without doing research and not going down rabbit holes and talking to science. But there is something to be said for running at a caloric deficit for a few days. It just, so sometimes I'll get a little, So I haven't looked at YouTube for a while, like my stream. I'm just going to check in because I feel like I always need to keep an eye on what's going on in the world. I have so many subscriptions. I like just looking at because then I'm always aware of, it's kind of like that's a network. Like from all my subscriptions, I could fill up 24 hours a day. So kind of give the world what I look at. So, and then I think you can go on anybody's YouTube page and look at their subscriptions. A lot of that is just you can't keep people from seeing it. Some of it, your playlist, you can, but I think a lot of that stuff you can just hop around and look at. Could be wrong. Allegedly, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I could always be wrong. Okay, go to the top because let's see live. Well, I know that's true. I got that from the BBC. I don't want to. What is all that chant? What is no? Wow, that's kind of... So, yeah, maybe I should make, I was one of the longest time WoW players. And oh, okay, well, no, let me say, you're going to put that... Let me tell you what happened to me. Yeah, hello out there. Anybody interested about my WoW playing experience? I would love to tell you about what happened to me. Oh, yeah. Long story short, the game got crap, and I quit. I had some problems with one of my characters. It was deleted in a server merge that I didn't ask to be part of. and I had to wait like 90 days. I couldn't. Ooh, I was so upset. And the problem was it took so long to get it. And then my stuff got flagged on the forums, and and it was on the customer service forum. Right? You're not supposed to complain on the customer service forum. I'm like, okay, look, I wasn't on the... Really? $15 a month. Brother, your crack ain't that good anymore. So now I play free games and City Skylines and run for Speaker of the House. That's what I'm doing now. You'll never get another penny from this homeboy. There's too much out there. What are you all doing behind those closed doors? Chains of domination. I bet you that CIA guy that's going to be the president or whatever his position is, I hope he catches all of you doing whatever you're doing. Why do you think he got hired? Scurrying out of the building. Can you imagine being in a tech company for 25 years? All of this player information. I can imagine what they know about us. WoW players. Bring it, brother. Bring it. Just rumor. Allegedly, I don't know. I know it's a lot of personal data worldwide. What are y'all doing? Now the CIA is going to be some ex-CIA dude is now... It's all... I am just stating public information out loud and saying this, and this. You draw your own... I'm not suggesting, but... That's a lot of info. A lot of credit card information. That's addresses, voting preferences, chat run amok. No ability to flag anybody. It's almost like they're encouraging toxic behavior, in my opinion. As a United States citizen, not being paid by anybody or trying to affect stock or anything like that, just me saying things out loud, right? Your public chat is disgusting. Your forum moderators, and maybe that's because there's only 2. They're all chained in the dungeon, getting whipped. What are billions of dollars? How much are you all? Thank goodness I know how to play City of Heroes. I love that game. Love it. But y'all, I can't tell you. But I love that game. And it's free. And since I'm talking about WoW, I'm going to let you know that I support fully. Where are my buddies? Oh, that's from Wowhead. That's okay. Well, I must be getting ready to drop a patch. I know that new patch is coming out. Where are my buddies? I watched them this morning. There they are. Okay, so I love these guys. I support them on Patreon. I'm not saying that but I'm not involved with them. I give them money because I want to support them. Like, you put an ad, right? I support them because there's no, right? I want them. They're not a corporate. The way I look at it, they are not a corporation. They're 2 awesome dudes having a conversation about a game I like. And I agree with 90% of what they say about what's wrong with WoW. And then just, I'm sorry guys, I don't like having that up there because it makes it look like I'm using them as, no. Okay. My name is David Cody Peppers. It's on my birth certificate. I've had that name my whole life. Okay, if you go to my Facebook page, which has my name on it, and you look at the hand album, it will show you the injury of my hand. When my hand was, the only thing holding my hand on was this part of my skin. It cut me right through all those little bones. It severed all the arteries, and so it's impossible for me to hold a mouse and click it because of my fingers. Okay, now, so when I play WoW or any video game, I play it with one hand, my mouse. Okay, and then I can use my thumb for, like, to jump. And I do a lot of keybinds. But when you are not in a guild in WoW and you can only play with one hand, you should try running a mythic anything. No, thank you. Oh, thank you. Well, you know what? When I was younger, when I was a kid, and it was not a fun name to have. Oh my God. You talk about easy pickings. So, but, so you can get PvP, like random battlegrounds. I love, what was it, AV, I love that. And, God, it's been so long. And it's like one of my only big PvP achievements was I played it so much, and I can't even remember the name. One with the stables and blacksmith and the mines. Oh, anyway, I love that one. Putting traps down by the flag and watching them blow off the hill and mind controlling them on the priest, and that was so fun. But like moving and stuff, like being able to run with one, it's hard, and people yell at you, and nobody ever encourages you. And so, and then people report you, and you get kicked out, and you're like, I'm not a bot. I wish I could have a little disabled tag on my nameplate. Really don't. I'm not that bad. And I know that's ridiculous. I would love if I could get like feet pedals and I could control. But dude, it's a game. How much do you want me to give? But I love it. I play that game ever since BC came out. I loved it. I didn't really have good luck in guilds, and I talked funny, and so it was not poor as me. It's just what happened. And and when the tokens came out, I never bought gear with the tokens. I did use the tokens though, but I used it to buy mats, believe it or not. I loved building things. I was a big profession dude, and but I didn't have time to go out and farm 10 hours to go, because then you have to have all these alts, and you can't. I mean, Blizzard, could you really not just give us the professions with the gathering professions with the, my biggest advice for any video game out there is to differentiate the difference between me, David Cody Peppers, who pays the money, and the person in the video game, the avatar. Okay, and how you reward for what. And I think there were a couple games that reward players like for subscription length, and you'll eventually catch up. But the people that have been there since the beginning, you reward the player that's paying you the money, that's keeping the employees there. It is, for the most part, the community seems really toxic, and I'm sure they would love to spend a lifetime making fun of me. Like they would, but see, I don't live in my mother's basement. And I have a life, and I paint, and I have joy. So come, I don't care. But the point is that those people are toxic online. They're horrible, horrible people the way they treat other people. And so you can have your world. You can have your world. Because you can't get me. Bye. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not... Fine. I don't have to sit at your table. But I love City of Heroes, but see, I don't think young men should spend hundreds of hours playing video games because it's crack, and I'm not saying you shouldn't play video games because they're a lot of fun, but there's a lot to do in the world, and everything in moderation. And I know I did it, and I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but there's a lot out there. And having done it, I wish I wouldn't have done it so much. I wish I would have stopped giving World of Warcraft money 5 years ago, to be honest with you. And I'm not trying to ruin anybody, but I'm just saying, in retrospect, I wish I would have stopped giving Blizzard $15 a month 5 years ago. That's a lot of money. And some of that time was hurtful that I spent there, and that's my own fault. I hear you libertarians. I'm not. But I'm just talking, right? Right, so that's one of the things I've always wondered about these libertarians that come at you with well, it's your fault. It's well, okay, but are you saying that I shouldn't be saying this out loud? That's sometimes what I feel like that they do, and that they're using that Libertarian Heritage Foundation PR group nonsense to use that as a way to get you to shut up about stuff. How does capitalism defeat an idea that can change the world that's freely given? It's a trap. You can't. It's too late. Hope's out of the box. One of the greatest lessons I've ever learned in my life, when you talk about authority and God and people and what's right, and kingdom economy, right? The holy places take the donation on the way out. Not while you're sitting there amongst your friends. You should be ashamed of yourselves. So, I give the ideas freely. Get me involved with the team. I can give you 50 pages in a day. But you don't get... Why buy the milk when the cow's for free? The idea is there. You can do all the work on your own and cut me out and run me off the road. But I can give you 50 pages in a day. But I'm not doing all the work for you. I'm not that stupid. I'm not that much of a moron. It's like, what's that line in Serenity? He's like, I'm not a complete moron. I, of course, am wearing body armor, right? I mean... it's not complicated. It would take a high school degree and some common sense. So, yeah, you don't need me, I guess. I'm looking for a job, right? That's what the governor's telling me. So, you know what? I wonder, here's a thought. I wonder if anybody's running against that green chick in Georgia. Because I got to move. So it technically wouldn't be carpetbagging. Could you imagine me running against her? But see, I don't want a seat in Congress. I just want to be Speaker of the House. And I know I can be Speaker of the House without actually having... Because if I'm going to be Speaker of the House in a year and a half, then I got to get a bunch of people elected. And I'm telling you how to do it, but I'm not going to come hold your hand. You know what? Because I got to do dishes and mow the yard. And look for a place to live and pack my bags. And we got a year and a half. We literally have 5 months. 5 months. Y'all better get, I can't. And, let it roll. Because dude, they're circling the wagons. They're going to take all the money out of all the political parties. I bet you that donations in the Democratic Party will plummet. Because they're going to tell all their people don't. Because the more money you pump into it now, the more money we're going to have to take out of it. Just like they did in Arizona, right? They did that in Arizona. Or am I right? As if they wouldn't do that on the national right? Allegedly, I'm just some dude right now. If I think this, and I'm confident enough to tell you most of the strategy up front to my opponents, even to the villains out there, because you can't beat this. And it's too late. It's already out there. You have been defeated. It's just coming. Now, I want to hug a rich person. Do you understand what I'm saying? I want to hug rich people because most of you are really great people. And I love you. And I think we all want to love you. But you all are acting like some big fat jerks. Doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So you've told me for 50 years this is a Christian nation. Pledge allegiance to the flag. And I have to do it with my left hand because my right hand is all messed up. But I'll do it like this. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, right? One nation under God. No. Constitution. You've been shoving that down my throat for 50 years. Oops. What did you expect was going to happen if one of us believed it? What did you expect? Do you have a plan? Do you have a secret plan to fight inflation in the desk? Armed security guards, no housing, no health care. This isn't an accident. You don't get to tell me this is just the way. No, this is on purpose. This is on purpose. So like I said the other day, on guard, it is class warfare. You won't shame me with it. It is class warfare because you all are the ones stepping on our necks. We can't breathe. Get off. And if you happen to trip when I'm forcing you off of me and fall on the ground and hurt yourself, that's on you. I come in peace. So in my insanity, let me put it to you like this. In my insanity, I've imagined that every word I have ever written on Facebook, on YouTube, has been pulled. Every last word. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. Because remember now, the story is that since I've been 12, I've been cognizant that every word would come back to haunt me. Imagine that. Because God's always watching. Imagine that, a 12-year-old thinking that. Well, so even in my home, God's watching. You're always being recorded by God. It's a trap. You all are going to come at me with everything I want you to come at me with. It's a trap. And then I'm going to, with your hypocrisy, and then with your hypocrisy, by you saying I'm not eligible to be in office, I will illuminate that the things that you are bringing up, you have done yourselves. And then there's no way out of that one, is there? And then I believe in my fellow brothers and sisters, and we're going to let them decide. But they're going to get a fair shake this go round. And for those of you out there that think you're going to splash something up on the screen in the near future, I just want you to take a good look at those photographs you're looking at, because that ain't me. For whatever that's worth to you all. Go ahead, splash it. Go ahead. It ain't me. That is, however, the kind of man I have sex with, though. And I enjoyed it immensely. It's a trap. All of it. So I love you very much. I'm a ballsy, confident, southern nobody who's got a decent brain and has some sense of value of myself. And I want to put as many people in homes as I can. This is a democracy, and I can run for office. And the funny thing is that I can run for a position. It's never been done before. Sandra, do you know that there's never been a Speaker of the House that hasn't had a seat? I'm 99.9% sure of that. No one's ever run for Speaker, like up front. I want to be Speaker of the House, and that's what I'm doing, right? And it's... And there's even no, like, imagine, right? See, so I understand the whole situation I put myself in, right? So people get elected, they go to Washington, and then they decide they want somebody else. That could totally happen. But I can be the Wizard King. I can want to be the Wizard King. I mean, Nancy Pelosi can't be Speaker of the House again, can she? I mean, Joe Biden, now honestly, Joe Biden can't be president again. He can't run because, see, there won't be a plague going on, and he's going to have to campaign against a much younger man. Okay, so that means that we're going to have, what, is the vice president not going to then be the nominee? Just, I mean, logic, right? I mean, President Biden cannot run for president again. Anybody who thinks that, President Trump could run again. I don't really want to even go near that hornet's nest. I don't know the main. I don't know President Trump. I don't want to say anything bad about him or his family because I don't know them. And I want to believe they're nice people. And I just want to leave it at that because I'm not going to pile on because it's just not necessary. It would be lovely if President Trump could find somebody who he believed was the best of him and used his wisdom and his connections to help that person, right? There's so many young people in the country that have proven themselves that have good mind and meant that are good people, that don't have sex tapes and don't. There are people out there that love God, that are disciplined, that are good people, that don't take advantage of poor people and people that are vulnerable. And if you want those kind of people in positions, then you need to look for those characteristics, because those people will make good decisions. They'll be able to make good decisions. Doesn't do any good to have a PhD that has no common sense and who wants to rape everybody they encounter. What? No. And it doesn't good to have, forgive me, Holy Father, but it doesn't do any good to have priests running around having sex with children. It doesn't do any good to have ministers having sex with people. No, that's not right. You too, Sandra. You have a great day. Peace and blessings to your family. I hope you enjoy your dinner with your mom. Well, I just don't know President Trump. I just don't want to believe he's as bad as all the words that get splashed everywhere about him say he is. But if he believes in God and goes to heaven, he'll find out what that's like, because I really think that's what heaven is. I think when you close your eyes last time and you wake up, we're all there. And we've all known. And then you, as a eternal being, get to body hop to all the people that you encountered. And then you get to watch yourself do what you did to other people. I hope that's what heaven's like. Imagine that. So when I get to heaven, right, and whoever's on the other side of that camera, right, when I get to heaven, I get to body hop in you, and when I see me on the screen looking at you, I get to watch me say, God loves you, I love you. There you go. And so if you've ever raped somebody, when you go to heaven, right before you get through those gates, when you've got your hands in the pocket in the lobby and you're body hopping, because there's no time in heaven, right? So you go back, right? And you go back to that rape that you did. Guess what? You're raping yourself. So, right? Sonder, just if you're still there, just remember, because I know you say you follow Jesus, right? But just help people understand one simple thing. The basic question, and you have to ask the question. There is either God or there isn't. There is no other, and if some great thinker, some great neoliberal academic wants to come, and I don't know what kind of authority you would somehow try to switch my mind on that with, but it's my front door. So, and then you should really make decisions for your life based on answering that question. And then roll the dice. That's a big gamble. I love poker. I love it. That's a big gamble. I've always said, that when I get to heaven, one of my favorite television series was Sense8. I loved that show so much. I loved it. And they had those two homosexuals in the bumblebee outfits that were running around getting everybody high all the time. It's like, I just want you to know that when I get to heaven, right, after I get through the lobby, because brother, I'm on the like when I get to heaven, there's going to be an express ramp that's got my name on it. And I'm going to wake up and they're going to be like, right this way, David. And I'm going to hop on that escalator and I'm going to go zoop. And I'm going to look back at the rest of you with your little hands in your pockets in the lobby, body hopping through all the rapes and murders and abuse that you all did, working all that out for yourselves. And then as I get and see God, I'm going to turn around. I'm going to ask him to forgive all of you. And then I'm going to put on my bumblebee outfit and I'm going to dance through eternity, getting everybody happy. So that when the rest of you work it out and finally get up there to God, it'll look really pretty. It'll be bedazzled. It'll be bedazzled by peppers. You can ask anybody I've ever worked with. One of my favorite sayings, and I'm going to leave it with this. One of my favorite sayings, I'd come into the kitchen, I'd go, hot and delicious, coming in. Because I had hot food in my hands, and boy, am I delicious. And that's the kind of coworker I am. So I'm going to take a break, everybody, and I'm going to hop back here later because I just came on to say hello to my friend Sander, and since there's nobody else asking me for prayer requests, and I need to tone down a little bit and focus, and I hope you like my little Darth Vader boombox there. And I love you, and God loves you. And here, dear God up in heaven, holy, holy, holy is your name. I hope that you'll take my joy and give it to the world. I want you to take all the joy out of my body and send it with little angel wings and send it out to the world. I want you to fortify all of those young men and women that are taking care of the Pope and all the people surrounding Joyce and all of the people in the world that are doing good. And let's get our feet under us. Let's meet God halfway. God, I love you. I love you. I love you. Please bless everybody. Bless Flash. Help him get his business going. Bless Daniel. Bless all the people that I talk to on YouTube. Please forgive me if I've ever sounded short. I love you. I love you. I love you. God loves you. Let Jesus into your heart. The Holy Spirit will lift you up and make you great. It's not too late to improve yourself. In the name of Jesus Christ, I ask all these things. Amen. I love you guys. Please, please find somebody to help and know I love you and that God loves you and he hears you. And I'm going to do my first sermon this week on Sunday, and I hope you'll tune in. And I love you. Take care.